Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club.
It's all that shit stuff.
Hello and welcome to Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. I'm Tom.
I'm Ollie.
And how are you doing today, darling?
I'm hot at the moment.
You look hot and bothered today.
Got the hot flushes on today. Sweating cobs, as they say.
Sweating cobs, sweating batches.
So have you been out skateboarding today, have you?
Yes.
Well, that's the excuse you gave. Let's see your palm.
Can you see? I've done that.
I don't think you got that from skateboarding, mate.
No, it's
That's the
definitely
vinegar strokes.
it's friction burn, and I've done something to my leg as well. But this is what happens when you're nearly 35 and you go skateboarding, isn't it?
I picture. Do you remember the bit in Spaced where Simon Pegg's like at the skate park?
I can't.
And he looks down. It's just a bunch of 10-year-olds with him hanging out. That's what I picture. Only social distancing though.
Yeah, well, I went and met my mate Mark Patton and the guy who tattoos me, Lewis, lovely guy, and we went down to a curb that we know. I won't tell the spot in case all 5 people who watch this come down and watch us skate. But yeah, really enjoyed it, man. Forgot how much I used to love it. It's just it took me about half hour to get into it, and I only went down for an hour. Managed to do a 50-50 and a kickflip, so yeah, still got it. Never went away.
Nice. My skateboard's been in the boot of my car for many a year. Hasn't left.
You need to come over here and social distance. You're allowed to do journeys now. We can do the elbow touches and everything. That's what we were doing today. We were pretending to elbow touch. Yeah, all this shit. I was doing my best Beavis and Butthead impression. Also, what else have I done today? Well, this week I've cut my hair as well.
Oh yeah, I can see you're going for the Renton look in Train Spotting, aren't you?
Going for the what?
The Renton look in Train
The
Spotting.
Renton look. I look like a fucking junkie. Cheers, man.
I'm only joking.
No.
I'll tell you what. Who you look like? Sigourney Weaver, Alien 3.
I can go for that, actually. She's hot, man. Who else? I'm thinking more Tom Hardy I am when he shows his head.
Have you seen Capone yet? Is it Capone?
Capote. I was going to say Capote then.
No, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman. No, Capone. It's directed by Josh Trank and it's meant to be...
As in Al Capone?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's directed by Josh Trank, who did... what's it called? Chronicle, and then he did that Fantastic Four movie. I haven't seen it. The one that everyone hated. I mean, everyone.
Is that the later one? Because I quite enjoyed that. I thought that was all right.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. Do you know what? You've got time on your hands. Watch that. You can probably fuck your computer screen out. Well, your TV out up the wall. Fucking hell.
What?
What? I was going to say you'd probably throw your.
Deserves a brain fart sound.
Yeah. I was trying to say you'd probably throw your TV up the wall if you were to watch it. Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
No, I'm willing to check it out. It's got a good cast. It's got Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller, the one from the drumming movie. What's it called? Whiplash.
Oh, I like him. He's good. Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah. In fact, he was good in this. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan anyway.
Well, to be fair, the best Fantastic Four movie's already been made, and it's called The Incredibles. So it is.
They are great. I didn't know who it's. The bad guy in that is
It's Jason Lee.
No, there's another one. Is it the newer one where it's Trey from South Park?
I think that's Despicable Me.
Oh, fucking hell. Same thing, isn't it? CGI.
Hey, that's like apples and oranges, man. You've got Pixar and then, was it? I don't know who makes that. Is it Universal? Sky Blue? I've forgotten the name of the company for that.
Oh, so it was Jason Lee, so that's a nice segue into me fucking
the reason
up,
why
isn't it?
people aren't watching Kevin Smith Part 2 today. So we did record a second episode with James. So
I had hair for that one.
Apologies to James, but someone, Tom, lost his footage and his audio, so we're going to have to re-record that one. We'll probably do it a bit different so it's not exactly the same.
Sorry, guys. I did feel bad.
Everyone waited on bated breath to listen to that one, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, they are the better films.
So So what else have I been up to? I'm trying to think what else. Oh, my friend did his overlap night last night. My friend Louis Hudson.
Oh, bollocks, because I tried to watch it originally.
Yeah, so basically, Overlap is like an animation show and tell that's in Birmingham, and it's like every 2 or 3 months, and it's at a place called Kong's, which is like a
retro arcade bar.
Retro arcade bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've shown my films there. We watch our peers' films there, and it's like because the animation community in Birmingham is quite small, but it's really nice because everyone gets together and we all watch our films, and it's a real nice space. When you've got your video done, you should.
I think I should, man. Yeah,
you should, man. It's really.
It's nerve-wracking though, because I look at all your guys' stuff and I'm like,
man, there's animations of all varying styles and qualities and that, but it's all good though, man, because you just get great feedback from everybody, and it's like a real nice, just lovely community spirit going on there. And then what Louis does is he like brings out like a special guest for every overlap. And this time I'm trying to remember. I can't remember their names.
Was it not you, Ollie? When you?
No.
I thought you were the special guest.
No, but my film was the one that crashed it last time.
Well, it was that good. It blew it up.
So basically, Overlap, as I said, is like a in-person kind of film night, but because of the current circumstances, that it's gone online. And Louis tried it last week, where he streamed it on Zoom and Twitch, and we all hung out in Zoom and stuff like that. And
I did laugh.
We got halfway through. I don't think the audio worked on Twitch, and my video just crashed it halfway through. It's a video that no one will ever see ever again because it's.
Because it's not released. Is this?
Yeah, it was the Porn Crumpets video I did, and they didn't like, and so I can't really do anything with it. So I just screened it once there, and that's it now.
Oh well, I've seen it. It's
it.
Fantastic.
Thank you. But so yeah, but last night he did it again, and it worked amazingly, and it ran for about 2 or 3 hours.
Wicked.
And yeah, it went out without a hitch really. And the main guests were, I'm just trying to remember. Let me try. I had it all ready, but my phone decided just to go. No, you're not looking at that. So
is Louis the chap who does the animations as one of a duck?
Yeah, so Louis is a fantastic animator, and he won many awards for one of his films called Man in Cat, and it's about a little man who lives inside the cat's brain.
Right.
And he meets another woman, like a little woman. Anyway, and then he did another one called Duckman Boy, I think it's called. I can't remember. It's like half man, half duck or something like that.
That's the one I've seen. I thought it was fantastic.
That was like, he won like a pitch to like do a pilot for a Nickelodeon cartoon show.
Wow.
So he did like a little 5-minute version of that, and it got screened on Nickelodeon and stuff. And it was really good.
Oh.
But I'm trying to find these bloody animators. Who are they? Okay, so the one animator he's called. You're right, Luigi. He's called. So if you look for him online, he's called Sweatpaz, and I've forgotten what his actual name is.
And the next one.
It just says Sweatpaz on here. But anyway, he's fantastic, and he does these kind of like really idiosyncratic kind of animations. And I sent you one yesterday, and I've put one on the Facebook.
That was
page,
brilliant.
where the animations are quite crude, but the comedy timing of it is perfect.
I'd love to ask him, does he record the voice? Like, I know most people record the... What's the word for it? So does he, like, ad-lib all the dialogue and then do the animation to it? Or how does he go about it?
No, he writes it, I think, because he's got a new web series that's just started, and it's called Turbo something or other. I can't remember, but it's kind of like a superhero kind of guy that just goes around just kicking people's heads in who are bad guys. Yeah. It's really good. I can't remember what it's called now. I'll have to put a link on here. But there's several episodes of that, and he's done a comic book of it as well. And but he does all the voices himself.
I love that. Is he Scottish?
Yeah, he's Scottish.
I was going to say, is it because that accent's fantastic, if not.
But it's really random. Like he'll have a character that's like kicking a stone, and he'll hit a house, and the house is like this wide, and the person that comes out of it is bigger than the house. And then he'll go to someone else's house, and they're a giant, and he'll go to another person's house, and it's a robot. It's quite random, but it's just so funny. And then he's also worked on Adventure Time as well. He got to direct an episode of Adventure Time. So I think there's that many episodes of Adventure Time that they kind of like thought, let's open up to like other animators and artists to kind of do something different with it. So I think they've done like stop motion ones and stuff, and he got to do because if you look at his style, it's quite distinctive.
Yeah.
And they did an episode of Adventure Time with him. But he also uses this thing now called Dreams. Have you heard of it? It's like on the PlayStation.
No, I've not
it's
heard
like
that.
how you can make your own games.
I've wanted to
make
make
animations with it.
Yeah.
So and you just animate it by using your controller. And eventually you'll end up with, the VR headset and the Move. So
Not like machinima. Is it machinimas? Is that the word for it? When they create animations within game engines?
It could be that, but Dreams is like a game. I don't know if it's a game or if it's a piece of software, but you can actually just make straight up animations in it. Or you can make games in it. It looks incredible. I would love to have a go at it.
I was looking at... because I've been watching like the new series of Rick and Morty. I thought I'd give it a bash, and I really admire the animation they have in their show. And I was looking at the programs they used, and they use a completely different one to anything I've ever heard of.
What's it called?
I'm just find out for you now. Program.
There was also another person who was showcased on the Overlap, and her name was Jessica Ashman, and her work was fantastic. And it's much more in the art realm as opposed to just kind of random like quirky cartoons. And she's a black animator, and there's not many black female animators around there, so her work's quite powerful and it speaks to that, and it's really really well done, and she does a lot of it physically, like by hand drawing it and stuff like that, and it's really cool.
Right. The one that Rick and Morty use is the Harmony, which is part of the Toon Boom.
I've heard of Toon Boom. I've used Toon Boom.
Have you used that before? I think it's mainly for just 2D, isn't it? Like, traditional.
So Louis and Ross, who I shared I used to share an office with, they've used Toon Boom, and they worked on a video game that's coming out soon called Battletoads. It's like a remake of the original game.
See, I like Battletoads.
It's fucking hard though, wasn't it?
Yeah, solid.
But like, it's got like, they've kind of gone all Earthworm Jim on this new one. The animation is like fucking amazing, like proper cartoon animation.
Sick. And
they use Toon Boom for that, I think. So that'll be interesting to see that.
That will be interesting. Are you working on anything at the moment?
Just my own film.
Yeah, how's that going?
Slow. I edited a 30-second scene the other day, and it's taken me about 2 or 3 days so far to do the compositing for it and stuff like that. So it's slowly but surely I'm getting there. Yeah. I actually realised I haven't shown any of this film to anybody online. I've kind of kept it...
No, I was going to say, because with Super Zeros, you shared content, didn't you?
Yeah, well, hopefully those will be coming out soon. I've just got to finish off episode 2, but I've still got a little bit more to film, and at the moment I'm unable to actually film anything. So
yeah, it's a pain, isn't it?
And like, I'd love it. I'd love to have been able to, as soon as I got the money from the Indiegogo campaign. I mean, I should admit I'm pretty bad at kind of keeping people in the loop, because you're supposed to constantly update and stuff like that, and I'm no good at that. But making a film is fucking hard. It's not easy, and like, I'm not saying I make films by myself, because I don't, because I have actors and I have a few people who help me on set. But then when it comes to post production, it's just me. I
was going to say, I think you couldn't. What's the word for it? Yeah, it does fall on your shoulders. You're the editor. You're everything. You're the special VFX.
You know what that's like, don't you?
Yeah, totally, man. And like, I spent. It's not the same, because I'm not as versed in everything as you, and like, obviously you've helped me out loads with everything that I've learned. But like, I'd say I'm to a point now where if I wanted to, I could blag a video. Do you know what I mean? I shouldn't say that, but
you don't blag it. It looks good. So
but
stop
this
yourself down.
no. But what I'm saying is, like, there's the right way of doing things, and then there's like the blaggy way.
Well, I don't even think that's correct. The right way. I think there's a right way for however you work.
Well,
the way I work is different to how other people work, and they may look at me and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" But it works for me, and I'm sure there is probably a better way that I could be doing what I do. But your mind only works in a certain way.
Yeah, no,
like,
totally. Like it,
and like I'm a bit messy and scrappy. Like my work, I don't think when you see the work, it doesn't look messy and scrappy. I hope.
No, not at all.
But if you saw behind the scene, if you could pull back, it's just chaos.
Yeah.
But that's how my mind works.
Yeah.
Like I think about a million things at the same time.
Do you find yourself starting things, not finishing them, and then going back to them like later? Is that a standard thing with you?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I'm like my dad. My dad's the same. Like, you know, my dad's a builder and plumber and electrician or whatever. But he'll start a job in the house, and then he's like, "Oh, what's that over there?" And you'll start working on that one over there.
Yeah, and then you have to make a full circle around the house to start again.
And I'm exactly the same. And I did for a while try and make a conscious effort of finishing everything I started before I started something else. But it started to creep up behind me. Do you know that meme where a man's walking with his girlfriend and he's like looking back?
Oh, yeah.
That's my life, but I'm not looking. It's not another woman. It's just another idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, ooh, that idea.
Have you got like a book of ideas?
Yeah, here.
Do you write them down or anything?
Not really, no.
No.
I tend to like sketch. I do sketch stuff, so if I have like a little idea, I'll do a drawing. But I really wish I was one of these people who have a sketchbook and it's filled with ideas and it's like creative and sparks of imagination and stuff like that. I'd love to be that person. Mine are all like, I've got an envelope, I'll turn it over the other side and I'll doodle on the envelope.
Yes.
Do you know what? I've got scraps of paper that are just filled with ideas.
I think that's the majority of people, because you know these like sketchbooks you see that people like. I watch a lot of YouTube at the moment of people drawing.
Yeah.
Just because I'm trying to like get my skills up to scratch. And a lot of people, it is a showpiece, but it's that's not their real sketchbook. Like,
it's too kind of too overworked.
It's too perfect. Like that shit that you put on the coffee table for people to pick up. I know for a fact, with me, I've ripped out about 10 pages, like just with one idea.
But I think
that's writing or anything.
I think some people with sketchbooks, and I might be wrong, it's almost like having your Instagram feed or whatever, and it's filled with all like the perfect little images that you kind of. And I think it's almost a bit of a. I don't know how to word it. Not showing off, because that's not the word, but kind of.
I suppose there's a difference between a portfolio of work.
Yeah, that's different. That's not what I'm on about.
No, yeah.
It's like, oh, look at me, I'm an artist drawing in my sketchbook. Do you know what I mean? And I feel bad saying that, because I am that person, kind of, but not that person. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's the person who goes to like
to a coffee shop.
Yeah, exactly that. I can't stand it. I can't work around people.
It's almost, look at me, I'm sketching.
Yeah, look at me, I'm reading. Well done. And you know they've got like a copy
Slayer on my headphones.
Yeah, they've got like a copy of I don't know, the Viz magazine, like, and then they've got Truman Capote on the back of it, like.
No, but I kind of say this now, but I kind of envy those people, because I envy those people who can just start a drawing and finish it. I will sketch a drawing and then be like, nah, that's not good. Put another piece of paper, trace over that, and kind of perfect it until I've got it how I want. I envy those people who are happy with the kind of really rough sketch and will just kind of keep working on that on one piece of paper or on the sketchbook. And I kind of envy that kind of way of working, really. But
yeah, I watched an amazing documentary last night about he did it's a blue. Let me find out the name of this guy. He's a French guy, and it was a fantastic documentary. And it's about his artistic journey, and it's really worth watching. Us talking about this. So let me type it in how I remember it. French dude, green face.
I tell you what, a lot of animators tend to do though with their sketchbooks. They will sketch people in real life when they're out, and they'll kind of. Because I guess that's one of the big things with animation, is kind of capturing a moment or creating a character. Yeah,
like everything I watch, and it says you need to be like that Sam and Ollie documentary.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
You've just got to constantly be observing. That's what you've got to constantly be doing.
Documentary.
And so, you know, I kind of get those people, even though I kind of hate them. I don't hate them. I don't mean that. But they annoy me. But I kind of get them, and I wish I was that kind of person. So I'm saying it with all just being envious, really. They've got the bollocks to kind of just sit there and draw. Because it's quite nerve-wracking, because what if you do a shit drawing and someone goes...
Oh, dude, like,
you're like, what's that?
Man, you've seen some of my animations. I'm not the best like artist in the world. I just enjoy the process more than anything.
Dude, stop talking yourself down. It's like, look at South Park. I don't think Trey and Matt Park can draw, but they cut out pieces of paper and they made one of the biggest fucking pieces of...
It's ideas, isn't it?
It's all about idea, content, not necessarily... Yes, if you've got great skill, then yeah, it's brilliant, but I can imagine like you could probably bash together an episode of South Park yourself like in a month, just kind of whacking it out. Whereas you could probably spend, if you're like want to do Disney style animation, you could spend a whole month just doing 4 seconds. So what's better to have 4 seconds of the most intricate animation or a 20-minute short film that says a lot about you and your kind of your mind?
Sometimes done's better than perfect. I mean,
they're very different kind of things at the end of the day. It's, I don't know if they relate, whatever, but...
so the guy I was thinking of was Matisse. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Matisse, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, what's the name? Let me get my Wikipedia up. So he's a French dude, and like he started off and he tried to enroll into like the equivalent of the British Fine Arts School, like the biggest one over there. And his most famous painting that I remember is Woman with a Hat, and it's like a portrait of his wife, and she's sort of all different colours, and it's very impressionist, like an impressionistic style, or neo-impressionism, I think they called it.
Right.
But like that's not what's interesting. It wasn't the art I was into. It was his story, and how no one liked him at the school. He basically couldn't get in because he drew these like fine art pieces, and like it was all out of perspective, but not on purpose. It just like his portfolio he sent in, and they were like, no, we don't want you. But one of the professors there, or one of the artists who were teaching the kids there, said, why don't you just come and work in my studio? And he ended up working with one of the lecturers, and then just his progression, like he lived a really mental life. He ended up having 3 kids. His first partner left him. Just a real brutal life, and just like people were like pretty much protesting his art because they were like, this is shit. This is like, what is it? And like people look on it now with such like reverence and think it's amazing. I just think, what a guy to have the balls to carry on doing it after everyone's just shunning you and taking the piss. I think that's amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing with art. It's all subjective, isn't it?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, while I admire like the animation in say like Frozen and stuff like that, it's not really for me. It's too flamboyant and it's too overly done for me. I prefer stuff that's a bit kind of, I don't know, just a bit off centre, a little bit.
I mean, the classic example, and we've said it before, it's like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, like he purposely said to his animators, he didn't want any squash and stretch or anything like that. He just wanted it to be fairly kind of almost static, like just not static, but like very more realistic movements and kind of slow and methodical, as opposed to like all like.
Yes, yeah.
Because like if you watch some of the very, very first episodes, they do some of that. Like they call it the crude era, and it was the era where Beavis and Butthead would like set fire to shit, and like they were quite nasty, and they'd bring drugs back from Mexico and stuff like that. Yeah, and but yeah.
I was going to say, getting off the subject of art, I've just remembered you've made some new purchases, haven't you?
Oh, I've actually got a stack down here if you want to see some.
Yeah, go on, get them out, man.
All right. So first of all, I made this, so I thought I'd show this first. So I needed for the film I'm working on, a lot of it was shot on green screen, and I needed a throne for one of the characters. And I was the way I work as well is I get a lot of photos and I manipulate the photos to create like a 3D environment that I can put the characters in. And then kind of like grade it the fuck out of it so you can hardly see it. But I needed a throne, and I couldn't find pictures of a throne from enough angles that I needed. So I thought, oh fuck it, I'm gonna have to make one now. So I made a throne out of.
It's fantastic, man. Do you know what?
And then I wanted to put skulls on either side like that, but I only had one, so I have to take a picture of it twice on both sides, and then it's a bit of a pain.
It looks brilliant though, man. I was just going to say, could you fit turnip in that? If not, can I have it afterwards and put Max in it?
You can, but it's not. I don't think you would fit on it, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
Not comfortably anyway. No.
Don't mind just about its comfort. I just want to see my dog on a throne.
All right, here we go. What else have I got? So I've got a new addition to my Batman animated series. So I've got Mr. Freeze.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever watched any toy videos. They always do this. So I think it brings the focus.
I'm going to do that
character.
as well. Right there.
So yeah, Mr. Freeze. You can take his head off.
Oh, nice.
Because he's got like.
Has he got an Austrian accent as well?
No, but you can put all these legs in it somehow, and he's got like. Because like his head, like basically, I think in the animated series, his body basically dies.
Yes.
And it's only his head survives, so he has to kind of use...
because they go around plopping on different things, don't they?
Yeah,
Doesn't he go in different machines and stuff when they put his head on things?
I've got the final Diamond Select Ghostbuster that I needed for my
I can't
set.
see not that one. Oh, it's...
So it's Ray Stantz.
Ray Stantz.
But yeah, this is normally quite pricey online. I've like seen him for £70 and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not paying that for this.
No.
But then I just found one for 20 quid and I was like, having him.
20 quid's good for that.
Yeah. Going back to the Ghostbusters again. I got this on VHS.
Nice.
And it's like pan and scan. So do you know what pan and scan is?
No.
So like, if you think about all the TVs we had as kids, they weren't widescreen, were they? They were like, 4x3.
Yeah, so did they do the black bars?
No, so they don't even do that. So what they do is they actually... So say that's the widescreen, they'll crop it.
Oh, no.
They'll either crop it that way or that way. So they call it pan and scan because they'll pan it.
Right, I see.
So like in most shots on this, Egon is hardly in this film because he's cropped out of it in most shots.
What?
I was on Zavvi the other day, and Zavvi emailed me personally, the store, and they had an offer on these action figures, and I love these action figures, and not because I actually collect them, but I use them for modifying. So I bought 8 of the same figure because they were like £3.50 each. It worked out, so I got loads of these, and then I just basically
nice
mod the fuck out of them.
Oh, sweet, man.
But
so what, do you use those as casts, or do you use them to actually just modify?
No, I just modify, so I put like Sculpey on and stuff. Not Sculpey, Milliput, and I've started using this new stuff, and I think it's what like Games Workshop people call it. It's called the green stuff.
Oh, it's great, that is. Yeah, because it's rock solid after it.
So I haven't used it yet, so I'm looking forward to giving that a bash.
Once it's solid, it's really hard, man.
So there was supposed to be a new Ghostbusters film out this year, so there's a big push on Ghostbusters merchandise. So there's like a new line of Ghostbusters figures coming out by Hasbro. But what they've also done is they're bringing back the old figures that we had as kids from the real Ghostbusters line. So I've picked up those. So
nice.
There's
I might get those just because I had them. They look great. I might have to get some of these, man.
Yeah,
they
look
lovely.
Great. So I don't know what... I'm guessing they'll probably come to Asda's, maybe, because they were like a Walmart exclusive. Isn't Asda owned by...
Because I said to you, didn't I, are they from Poundland or somewhere like that? Just thinking... Where did we get the turtles from? You know, they'll probably go somewhere like that, won't they?
Which turtles?
You know, the re-editions, the Nickelodeon editions of the turtles.
Oh, they went to B&M, I think.
B&M Bargains. I reckon that's where they'll end up.
Maybe. So there's Winston. So apparently they're not, because I'm not going to open these because I've got my ones from when I was a kid still, but apparently they're not exactly the same. So either they've completely remolded them, or there's Bill, not Bill Vakeman. Vakeman. So yeah, I was going to say, so they've either completely resculpted them, or they've scanned in the original figures because the slight. Like some of the details a bit softer and stuff like that. So they probably just digitally scanned them. There's Egon.
Nice.
And then Stay Puffed.
See, I'd
look how white he is, man. If you look at the one in my toy cabinet, he's like yellow as fuck and he's covered in felt tip. And then last but not least, Green Ghost.
Slimer. He got pizza there. When's he eating the pizza when he's in the fridge? Or what's?
I don't know if.
Does he eat pizza in something?
No, he eats hot dogs in the first one. In the film, he pops.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not in the film, is it?
And then the last thing I picked up was this. I don't know if you've ever seen this show. It was actually a series of books, and it's called The Complete The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole.
I've read the books.
And like
they're fantastic. I felt like that kid.
And like for some reason we were just at the dinner table the other day and we were talking about this show and I was like, I haven't seen it since I was a little kid. It's more my sister's age.
Yeah.
Because it's about a kid from like the late 70s, early 80s, so it's that kind of era.
I was going to say, I had the books. I think that my mum read them to me, or I read them, one of the two. I don't think I've even seen the show.
It's really good, man. And like,
it's his diary. It is his diary, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's, I can't remember. It's like the Diary of Adrian Mole, age 13 3/4 or something. Then there's another one, and then before the writer died, I think she died like in 2012. Is it Susan Townsend, something like that? But she did one where he's like 40.
What?
So like a diary of when he's a 40-year-old, but sadly she passed away.
I'd love to read that.
Yeah,
I'm nearly at that age myself now, so it might be quite apt.
So yeah, have you been buying anything, or have you just been?
I have actually bought some bits and pieces. I mean, I'm a bit strapped for cash at the moment, but just because this wall here hate, so I am going to be. I've bought a load of posters, so I bought a load of NES posters.
Oh, nice!
And I'm going to get them nice and framed up. So I've got Mario 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
So classics, and then I got, because I love Mario, as you can tell.
Well, because we're going to do a Mario. We're going to do a Mario episode at one point, but isn't there something like Mario 2 in the UK and America is not Mario 2 in Japan or something?
Mario 2 in Japan is actually like a reworking of the original Mario, and it's just shitloads harder. I've played it. I can't complete it for shit. But Mario 2 is actually
it's like a completely other game, isn't it? Reskinned.
Yeah, so it's Toki something land. Let me find out. Let me have a little look. But that's my favourite Mario. No, oh God, would I say that's my favourite? No, we'll do this on the Mario episode.
No, there's so many good Mario games, and they're all great for different reasons. But yeah, we'll do a proper Mario episode.
Doki Panic was the original game. Yeah, but I love that game because you know when I think you pick up a cherry and it goes dark.
Oh yeah.
I just thought that was a nice little mechanic. I thought that was great. But anyway, get off Mario because I'll ruin the next one.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, did you hear they're finally releasing the Snyder Cut of Justice League?
So how long is that going to be?
So have you not read about this?
I knew there was a Snyder Cut.
Yeah, so for like the last 2.5 years, it's been like the big thing of like release the Snyder Cut. It's been like a hashtag on Twitter, and it was like it's the most tweeted about film ever, but it actually is a film that doesn't exist yet or something like that. But
right, okay.
And apparently it got quite heated with, you know, fans being quite horrible to each other and stuff like that. But anyway, because Zack Snyder had quite a tough time, didn't he, making that film? I mean, first of all, people didn't like Batman v Superman, so he had that going against him. Then he delivered his cut, and I think Warner Brothers demanded some changes, and then his daughter sadly committed suicide. So at that point, he was like, I've had enough of this now, so I'm stepping out back. And then they brought Josh Whedon in, who kind of apparently reshot like 2/3 of it. And then, so I don't know if you've seen Justice League.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I just thought the what's his name, the main villain,
Steppenwolf.
I thought he sucked. I thought there was a few things that I didn't like in it. I still think oh God, who plays Batman?
Ben Affleck.
I was going to say Matt Dillon then. Ben Affleck. I still think he could be a great Batman, or could have been.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty decent in Batman v Superman. You can tell though, in scenes that are the reshoot scenes in Justice League, compared to scenes that you can tell which scenes are from the original version and then the kind of the reshoots.
Could you tell? I've only watched it once.
Yeah.
So if I watched it again, do you think I'll be able to?
Because without sounding horrible, he's a bit pudgier. And like a pudgier Ben Affleck is still a lot better, physique than I will ever have. So, but you can definitely tell the difference. Like he's almost got a bit of an Adam West punch on. He looks.
Yeah, but you're into that though, aren't you? You've got him behind you.
But you can tell he's kind of checked out during that, and he's like not really into it. And you can tell just by his performance. So it'd be interesting to see what the film will be like with everybody's performances intact, and then Henry Cavill without that weird abomination where they had to kind of remove his.
Did you see a fan like did a different version of that? Like did it for them? Like, how do I word this? So they redid the VFX of that. Yeah, that moustache take, and it looked fine.
Isn't it deep fake?
I think deep fake just did it.
Yeah, I think the only problem is his face that they've tracked onto it looks a bit too crisp. If they just kind of blurred it just a smidge. But it's amazing what they can do with software that they've with no money.
Yeah. And
yet a film that cost like upwards of $300 million couldn't fix, and they gave him like a fucking hair lift. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what they do with this Snyder Cut, because apparently it's either going to be a 4-hour movie or a 6-part miniseries.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to chop it up into a series, and they're doing
doing it.
Yeah, they've been given a $30 million budget or something to kind of do all the effects.
Well, I suppose if you think... Is this just been announced during lockdown?
Yeah, well, apparently it was greenlit back in November, and then they were going to start it in March, and then the lockdown happened, so they thought, oh, it's not going to happen now. But then they realised now's
the perfect time, isn't it?
But also, like, because it's going on a streaming service, it's not going to the cinemas, it's they're going to be starved for content eventually because nothing's being made. So there you go. There's 6 weeks of TV, way to get people to buy into your service, and they've got to stay there for at least 6 weeks to watch each episode of.
Imagine, right? They do this series and it's incredible.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
It'd be so good. Like, I know everyone wants to beat that movie up, but like, it's the Justice League, man.
Yeah, I didn't like. I mean, I actually quite like Man of Steel. Our hands up. I like Man of Steel.
Yeah,
it could be partially because of the music. I thought the music was rad, and if something's got good music, it kind of elevates it a bit more for me.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Batman v Superman, I didn't really like at the cinema. Then I watched the extended cut, and it was a bit better. Justice League, I just thought was crap. But I am reserving my judgment, and will.
Yeah, because it seems a bit of a hatchet job, doesn't it, with that one?
Yeah. I mean, he's not the best filmmaker in the world ever. He's kind of if you ever see him in interviews or like talking about his films, he doesn't seem to kind of understand what he's talking about in regards to his film. It's like almost like he doesn't understand his films, or he can't complete fully formed sentences or that make sense.
There's someone on the line at this precise moment who can't like produce fully formed sentences, and that's me. No, it's me. So I kind of feel for him.
But like, I think as a visualist, he's very good. Like, all his films look the bollocks, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
The
look
effects
really nice.
are always top notch, and it always looks nice. It's just sometimes probably the content maybe a little bit lacking, but I don't know.
Have you watched any of the new Harley Quinn animation?
No, is it any good?
I've literally watched about 5 minutes of it, and I really like the look of it.
It's on Channel 4 or E4 or something.
I think it's worth a watch. It's obviously a bit more, it's very explicit, really dark. But I'm not going to pass any judgment on it until I've watched a full episode. But I put 5 minutes on just to see what the animation looked like, and I was like, I'm into this. I could do this.
Yeah, no, I've seen the look of it. It looks pretty cool. The character designs look pretty cool. It looks like they're kind of leaning into that kind of Rick and Morty kind of audience, that kind of.
Yeah. The more the adult side of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested to check that out. I still need to watch series 4 of Rick and Morty.
I was saying to you, I've been watching them. I've been listening to loads of interviews, not with Dan Harmon, the other creator who actually made
Justin Ryland. Is it Justin Ryland?
Yeah, I find him hilarious. Like,
How those two are capable of doing a show is beyond me, because they're completely like broken human beings.
Then they're fucked, aren't they? Like Dan Harmon's just there, and like you can basically smell like the booze through the TV screen. And I really like him. I like him as a human being. I feel for him because I've been where he is. But what was it, Royland? Is it Royland? Yeah. I've been listening to loads of podcasts because he actually did a podcast a few years ago. And I stumbled upon it without realising it was Justin Roiland. Because I just typed in animation on podcasts, and I like to listen to something just to... Anyway, like... He was talking with another 3 people, and all of a sudden he started doing the Rick and Morty voice, and this was, I believe, before Rick and Morty were even. So it's like a voice because he's done voices on Adventure Time.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I didn't realise Adventure Time.
Did Rick and Morty start as like a little short cartoon? Like, like we were talking about that.
It looks like that guy's.
Yeah, just kind of crude animations, and this is all it takes is just a simple idea. Yeah. And like, wasn't his idea? It's called like Rick and Mortar or something like that. And it's basically a joke on Back to the Future, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went.
He was a member of a like a similar thing to what you're doing with your pal with the animation night. There was one in LA, and it had all the guys who did, Lonely Island.
Yeah.
So the Lonely Island guys, you had Justin Roiland, you had Dan Harmon, and every month they had to bring like a 5-minute short.
Oh, okay.
And if you want something hilarious to watch House of Cosby's.
House of Cosby's, okay. I'll check.
Honestly, I forgot to mention this to you.
Put it on the group, put it on the page.
Like, it is so good. So House of Cosby's is about, it's by Justin Roiland, and it's about a guy who invents a machine that keeps spitting out different Cosbys. So it's like you get Science Cosby or Robot Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, yeah. It is the funniest thing I've seen in ages. So it's got that Rick and Morty humour, but it's like that rough art style that you were on about.
Right,
it's fantastic, man. Yeah. House of Cosby's.
It's what I need to do, really. Just kind of like come up with an idea, like just a simple idea. It's just getting those ideas and just kind of going. It's almost like a
storyboard, man. It's a glorified storyboard in some senses, isn't it? But a bit more.
But he's got a new show, hasn't he? Justin Roiland.
Yeah, the one about the aliens that looks very much like Rick and Morty.
I kind of worry about this because whenever a creator of a TV show that's quite successful gets another show, it almost like makes the other show suffer. Yes. So like, I think as soon as Futurama came out, which is a great show, Simpsons kind of went.
Yeah, he just sort of let go of that, didn't he?
I'm not a fan of Family Guy, to be honest, but that quality dipped when he did, because there's been many spin-offs of that, hasn't there? Like American Dad, or whatever it's called.
I mean, would you say you're a fan of any of the spin-offs? I love American Dad.
From what I've watched, it's all right.
Yeah, I mean...
It follows a formula, but I guess all animated series do.
Yeah, I don't like Cleveland, is it?
Well, no, with that, I think he's technically back in Family Guy now, isn't he, or something?
Oh, is he? I was going to say, because that flopped.
What was I going to say? Yeah, the thing with Rick and Morty, though, like, I reckon if you're a sci-fi writer or a writer of kind of big-budget films with, like, grand ideas, you've just got to be so mad because they just kill it every week with a new crazy idea that could be the genesis of, like, an entire feature film or a series of films, and they just cram it into like a 20-minute episode.
It's mental, isn't it, man?
Just like for example, the episode where Rick builds a battery that's actually a mini world inside the battery to power his. And then the people inside there have discovered that they can create a battery to power their world. So they create and it just keeps going in, doesn't it?
That's it. There's a similar episode I won't spoil it for you, but there's an episode on a train that has a similar sort of vibe to that in the new series. Watch it, man, because it was worth watching. I'm just finding with Rick and Morty, there's only so much I can do with it. I don't know. I love it. But I'm into Pickles the dog at the moment.
That is good. That is great.
And they're really short and just really crass. And that animation style, if I could get there, that's where I'd love to be.
Well, it's like BoJack Horseman was rad as well.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
That that is incredible writing for an animated show. Like, really, honestly,
So
It's
existential,
Yeah.
existentialist, I should say. And I found myself crying at one of the episodes.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
I was just like, what the hell am I crying at like an animated horse for here? But that Pickles the dog, he reminds me of one of my favourite artists who did, do you know R. Crumb?
Yeah. Well,
so
they did a film about him, didn't they?
Did they? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
they did two-
the animators, or are we talking just a separate one? A separate
Do
story?
you mean the cartoon artist Crumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they made a feature film about him.
Oh,
And
right.
I think it came out around the same time as the American Splendor came out as well, which is a kind of like, you know, the one with Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
Yeah, and they both came out around the same time.
I think
You know, like
I
how
might
they
have
say
watched it.
like movies come out at the same time. So you got Dante's Peak and
Volcano.
Volcano. And what was the other one? Armageddon, Deep Impact,
Crumb.
American Splendor.
But yeah, that R. Crumb, I've got a few, because I used to be massively into Charles Bukowski, like that drinking writer. And I've got a few of his short stories, and they're illustrated by R. Crumb. They're fantastic to look at. Just like these women with massive bums, and just like, yeah, they're just great. But he had quite... I do remember watching a documentary. I don't think it's the one you're on about, because it wasn't as well produced as I could imagine that being. But I remember seeing him with his brothers in this really weird house.
Okay.
Like, he's just got a really messed up sort of weird family, that guy.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll have to dig that documentary out, man, because I do love his art style.
Let me I'm just gonna have a little butchers.
Have a little butchers, mate. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, there's like in the 70s and 80s though, there were always mad. So no, Crumb is the documentary film that you're.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe it is a.
Oh,
Surely
there's a film. I know what you're on about now, and I haven't watched it.
So yeah, the one you're on about is called Crumb.
Yes.
But then, I'm sure there is a. Yeah, Robert Crumb is his name. He's still alive.
What? He's still alive?
Apparently so.
Nuts.
In media.
Yeah, because I know what you're on about now.
Oh, hang on. I might be completely wrong.
No, you're not. There's a film.
He's a character in American Splendor, but I'm sure there was a feature film on it.
I'm sure there's a film. There's.
But his artwork reminded me a lot of like Ralph Bakshi's stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like Fritz the Cat and all that kind of.
Yeah.
Like kind of just naughty, like Viz, almost like Viz, but kind of darker than Viz. Like Viz was just kind of like racist and homophobic and shit like that. Whereas this is just bleak and.
Which one were you saying? Sorry, which one's racist and homophobic?
Oh, probably Viz.
No, man, no, mate. I love the Viz. Honestly, it's not racist or homophobic. It's pointing fun. I could do an episode on the Viz.
It looked like, you know, like beachside postcards you get in like.
Yeah, that's exactly
but
it.
But just naughty, like even naughtier versions of that. But
yeah,
totally. I don't know. It never really appealed to me.
Have you never read the Viz?
No, never.
Dude, like you need to get into the Viz.
It's like Dandy and Beano
for adults. Yeah, exactly. You've not got like every Christmas I get the thing of the Viz off my mum.
Do you?
Yeah, so I get like the annual, and it sits by my toilet. They still do it. Yeah, of course they do.
Shit.
Man, like. I don't think they're quite left wing. The Viz. There's actually a really good documentary on the Viz that I'll send you because
I take back all and any comments.
Yeah, it's more. It was like it came out in like the 80s sort of thing. So it was like against like the Thatcher sort of stuff. Really good, man. I mean, you did have other like adult comics like. I'm trying to think. Electric Soup's really good. That's like a Scottish-British comic book. That's really it's a bit like 2000 AD, but
is
Scottish.
that the one where what's the character that Grant Morrison created? And he's like a
yes, I think he was. I think it is. Yeah.
Is there anything that? Zenith is quite cool, man. He's like a superhero rock star kind of like musician, a bit like Jem, I guess, but like cooler.
Yeah, man, you need to put, like, if we can put some pictures of these, like the front covers of Electric Soup are amazing. There was one comic strip I remember in it, and it was of a truck driver, and my dad was a truck driver, and I remember the first panel of it being like the truck driver's arm on the side of the truck as he's driving. And I always remember my dad having this tanned arm,
just a brown red arm.
Yeah, one red arm, and like having tattoos that are all bled out. And I thought, this is amazing. This is my comic book. And like the detail in the drawings as well are fantastic. Like you can see the flies in his teeth when he's put his like head out the window and stuff. I love stuff like that. It reminds me of like the Beavis and Butthead or the Ren and Stimpy.
I should probably check it out more. Like I tell you what, artwork I love as well. It's more American though, but you know Ratfink?
Yes, Ratfink.
Like all those like kind of like it's almost like mental biro drawings with loads of like lines and stuff, like those gnarly looking rats with the hot rods and stuff like that.
Yeah, the hot rod cars. Yeah, do you remember those? The models that you used to get of the Hot Rod series, I'd love to get those. They're fantastic. Although the original sort of Frankenstein's and Wolfman models that was sort of similar to that. But what was I've gone down a massive sort of just tangent, But yeah, Electric Soup's amazing. Viz is incredible. And I was just going to mention 2000 AD as well, man.
Well, yeah, that's rad. 2000 AD is great.
I was lucky enough, I've forgotten the name of the artist, to have like a 5-minute chat with one of the artists when I worked at High Vis Festival, and he did a lot of the work on Judge Dredd. But I was never the biggest Judge Dredd fan. I was always like ABC Warriors, or like Joe Pineapple from the ABC Warriors was my favourite character.
I'd say I'm not that well versed in it, to be honest. I just kind of ended up getting like the Judge Dredd like collections and stuff like that. So I never really knew many of the other characters that are in.
Some fantastic ones. Slane's a great character.
I know
as well.
Slane.
Like Slane's cool. Awesome. Then you had another character that was like Slane, but he was in not the future, like in the modern day, and he was like an eco warrior. That was great. It's something similar to Slane, maybe Bane or something. God knows. But yeah, do you know what? We should do a 2000 AD episode.
Okay, I need to do a bit of research on that one, or you can tell me all about it. But,
yeah, I'll tell you.
But I mean, like the Dredd film was rad, and
the new one was fantastic.
Weren't they going to do a TV series? I'm sure I remember seeing teasers or something for like a Dredd TV series that was meant to come out, and I'm sure there was talks that. The guy who played Dredd, what's his name? Carl Urban?
Is that his name?
Yeah. He was going to portray him, or was in talks at least. But I've not heard anything. And I mean, we're not going to hear anything now for a while. But
be nice if they did like a Daredevil style Netflix series, but darker with Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I mean, not as long. I think those ones went on a bit too long. Like,
what with
like 10 or 13 episodes? I think like 6 episodes, perfect. If you can't tell a story in 6 episodes, I
think you might be onto something there, because it's a comic book, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's episodic. So if you were to do something, say, in 20-minute segments and do 6 of those, you're laughing, you've got...
'Cause, like, I start TV series and I kind of get really bored with them really quickly.
A lot of it's filler, though, isn't it?
And I find, that's why I love films, man, because, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, done.
Yeah, totally.
Move on. You can have your shit, whatever you want to do then. But like I think like Stranger Things would be much stronger and would be better if it was just
3 films.
Well, each series was a film or something, and like people go, oh, but you don't get the characterization in it, blah blah. blah. Like bollocks, no. A good writer can tell you who that character is, what they're about, and just from like the opening scene, and that's all you need. You know, you can get a lot.
Saying all this about like maybe doing like 20-minute episodes, I think it's called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. So I don't mean I don't feel at home in this world anymore. What I meant was I'm not okay with this. Great program. Go check it out.
Yeah.
watch it on Netflix. 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
About a girl who's coming to terms with her. She's getting superpowers. That turns me off. Me saying that to you. So don't let that spoil it for you. It's the girl from It and the boy from It as well.
Oh, the redheaded girl.
Yeah, she's a great
She was
actor.
good. She was. Yeah, she was good.
Well, I really enjoyed the series. I nailed it in a day.
Okay, I'll have to try it out.
Yeah, watch it, man. And I'm not. No spoilers. Watch it because you'd love it.
There's another series on Netflix that I wanted to watch, and it's like a short. It's like some of the episodes are like 1 minute, some might be 5 minutes, and it's called Robots and something. What's it called?
Oh, it was originally called Sex, Robots, and something else, wasn't it? And it's all different animated styles.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I keep meaning it's like every time I turn on Netflix, it's like you got your list that you're gonna watch. It's
I started watching it, and I think it was one of the kinky ones because there's loads of heavy breathing in it, like sex noises,
ASMR kind of.
and
we're turning people on here now.
I've got it on at a loud volume, and Nat was in bed, and I was like, I can't watch this now. Do you know what I mean? I know what she thinks I'm doing. That's where that came from, though.
Watching anime. What
was I going to say? I might have to wrap this up, dude, because I've got to go and pick Nat up.
That's cool, man.
But
all right,
dude,
so next week we will have Kevin Smith Part 2 for you,
Part
and then
3.
I think Part 3. Then the week we should just call it Part 3, and everyone's like, "Where's Part 2?" And then the week after that, I think we're going to do Spawn because I've just purchased the first trade paperback to read, and then I think we're going to do the movie as well. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and movie and animated series.
Yeah, movie and the soundtrack. You can't forget the soundtrack.
Man, Sneaker Pimps.
Yeah, man. I really like that band, but we'll get into that.
We will.
All right, so thanks for listening, watching, however you consume this content. Don't forget, we're on. Where are we? We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. Is it just Big Kids Club?
I believe so. And thank you to Cassie for sorting that out
thank
for
you.
us.
What else are we on? We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're also on YouTube. So yeah, don't forget to add us on Facebook. Give us a like.
Like on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was going to say don't follow us on something.
Whatever.
No. I fucked it up for you, man. You were on a roll then.
Just give us a nice review. That'd be really great. And subscribe. We need some friends. Start a conversation with us. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing I just wanted to point out. One of our listeners, Chalky Chorner, got back to us.
Who is that, by the way? Is that someone we know?
He's friends with Hal, I believe.
Hello, Chalky Chorner.
And he gave me an idea for another TV adult movie into a kids' cartoon and toy line.
Oh, nice.
It was Running Man.
Good call. And you could do the ice hockey dude, man.
Well, I was suggesting Dynamo. Do you remember you could have those toys as a kid that kind of had a spark in them?
Yes.
So you could kind of push down his arm and his chest could spark with lights or something like that.
What else could you could do the barbed wire and everything, couldn't you?
There's so many things you could do in that. But yeah.
That's a film I need to rewatch, which also we will get a Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone one sorted as well. But I think we're going to get your pal back on, Rob.
Yeah, we'll get Rob for those. Read the book of Running Man. It's quite good.
Is it?
It's very different. Instead of being confined into one area, they've got the whole of America or a city. I can't remember now. Just to kind of... And you put yourself into the competition to possibly win money.
I love it. It reminds me of RoboCop as well, that film. It's not directed by the same guy as RoboCop or anything.
No, it's not Verhoeven. But a lot of 80s films had that kind of almost...
You know, when there's a guy and he's going up a rope and there's dogs chomping at his feet and he's collecting the money as he goes up. I just thought that was fantastic. I love when they do TV shows within films.
Yeah.
I always love that. But yeah, so until next time.
Okay. Keep it cool. I don't know. Keep it groovy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.